Let's talk about Delta Plus. The infamous Delta variant, which crippled India during the second wave of COVID-19, has mutated into another variant of concern, which is the Delta Plus. But how fatal could it be? Will the vaccines work, and will it lead to the third wave in India? I'm Sumita Karir, and here's decoding all about the Delta Plus threat. So if there's any hindrance to the ending of the COVID-19 pandemic, guys, it's going to be mutations, and the Delta Plus mutation reported last month has sparked off similar concerns. So Delta Plus comes from the same lineage as the Delta variant, as in fact is a result of two variants of concern coming together. Number one is the Delta variant, and number two is the Beta variant. That mutation was seen in South Africa and was claimed to be a variant of concern by the WHO. At least 60 cases have been found so far of the variant in 12 states, with 3 deaths in total. And the government has already announced it as a variant of concern. In fact, India aside, this Delta Plus variant has already traveled to at least 9 countries: US, UK, Switzerland, Poland, Japan, Nepal, China, Russia, and Portugal as well. But why is everybody so concerned? Is there a real cause for concern? Well, everybody is concerned because it has come up in the Delta variant, which, if you remember, was a variant of concern and wreaked havoc during the second wave of COVID-19 in India. It's also shutting down parts of the Asia-Pacific region. So now the most obvious question is, will it be equally virulent? Well, experts say not necessarily.
So the apprehension is that Delta has now acquired an even greater potential to evade immunity. Having said that, there is no evidence of it yet, really no data on it yet. So everything that you hear is based simply on the background information.
And then the big question is there cause for worry? How fatal could the Delta Plus threat be? Viruses mutate all the time, but every now and then a mutation comes along that makes the virus do its job well and make it monstrous. And that's exactly what happened with the Delta variant. Now, there are reports that suggest that this Delta Plus variant has greater affinity to lodge itself in the lungs, and then it could also lead to brain damage, including your cognitive function and memory function could be affected, and it could also reduce monoclonal antibody response. Now, it was the treatment given to Donald Trump as well. But does that mean the Delta Plus variant could trigger the next set of cases? Well, not really. Right now, it cannot be said that the variant is highly transmissible because it hasn't spread beyond 50 to 55 cases ever since the time it was first detected.
There is no data right now to say that the Delta Plus is going to be more lethal. Those studies require following up a cohort of people who are infected with Delta Plus.
Having said that, it doesn't mean that it's not a public health risk. That is the most important question, since vaccines are being said to determine the end game for the virus. Now, government claims that the COVID vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin in India, work against the virus variant. But scientists say that the original vaccines that were developed, they were developed with respect to the original strain of COVID, which is the alpha strain, which wasn't too virulent. Hence, this variant has a chance of escaping antibodies produced by vaccines. It's also been claimed by scientists that first dose of Covishield is over 70% effective in protecting from hospitalization against the Delta variant. But for Delta Plus, the trends in India still remain unclear because there is not that much data available right now.
It all points to the fact that if your measurement is based on vaccinated people avoiding infection, then there is not very good protection. But if your measurement endpoint is preventing severe disease and hospitalization, then the protection is very good. Even one dose of these vaccines offers up to 70% or more protection.
So all in all, efficacy of vaccines might be a bit impacted, but it will not fail vaccines completely. It will make sure that it protects people from landing in hospitals. For instance, if you remember, a 65-year-old fully vaccinated woman in Rajasthan contracted this variant and she recovered with mild symptoms. Well, it could be triggered by the Delta Plus variant if COVID-appropriate measures are not taken.
The effort right now should be to limit the generation of more variants. And since mutation is simply a random process, the way we can do that is to limit transmission.
The Indian government has already urged states to widespread testing, prompt tracing. In fact, COVID appropriate curbs have been put in Maharashtra as well. Aggressive genome sequencing also needs to be done. What is that? Well, it will tell you which variant, Delta or the Delta plus variant, which ones are spreading, to know clinical effects at a lab level and what's the efficacy. So it will tell you all of that. Number 3, there's been a gradual increase in cases. So it needs very, very close monitoring and aggressive testing of people to know how aggressively it's spreading. And number 4, vaccination of at least 60% of people needs to be done. For now in India, only 4% of our population is fully vaccinated with 2 shots. And folks, last but not the least, COVID appropriate protocols like washing hands, maintaining social distancing, wearing masks at all times needs to be completely followed, and we cannot afford to ditch these COVID appropriate measures just yet. That's it from me, guys. I'm Sumita Karir and hope you like this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below.